There we go. Hi, Simon. I am so just honored and grateful that you are here with me as a student of Thinking into Results, as a student of Bob and myself. And I'm just really excited to have you here and to just interview you and share your story. And we'll make sure that when I post this to my media, and I'll post it to YouTube, that all of your information and links where people could reach out to you, that we make sure that they're included there. So first of all, Simon, I would love to know, for you to share where you were before you came into this material.
Thank you, Tara. I'm excited to be interviewed and to be a graduate of this amazing material. So before I came into TIR, I felt a lot more, I'm going to use the word frantic, and I had a lot more anxiety. And I can still get anxiety, but I feel like I have a lot more of the tools to deal with it and to find the more deeply rooted causes. I had a lot more confusion, anxiety, not knowing. I mean, I had 3 businesses at the time, and I was just putting a little bit of effort into all of them and wasn't really making meaningful progress towards any of them. And just my day was just filled up with kind of lower vibration emotions, a lot more negative thinking, and just I wasn't really experiencing as much joy as I am now.
So what has the material obviously has helped you, really ground yourself in your emotional state and to move towards those big goals and dreams. But what else? What has Thinking into Results in the community helped you do that you couldn't maybe do before?
It has given me a very methodical game plan, but more than a game plan, like a series of steps of something tangible that I can use every single day, where it's not abstract, like read another book or do another program. And I've done so many different self-development programs from a lot of big names, and I've read so many self-development books. And with this material, what really sets it apart is I feel like I can see and take meaningful steps. I know what to do. It's just like follow the process. It's laid out here, right here. If I do this every single day, I'm going to get the results that I'm after, because myself and you, Tara, and I'm sure if you're watching this video, like you have a lot of really big goals, dreams, and desires. But getting there is like, how do I get there? And this material is a really big step in that journey. So yeah, I feel like I have a lot more clarity on what to do. And another thing that is just understanding how my mind works, because it's one thing just to get conscious information inside your head, and we get overloaded with information through social media just constantly, and this is just increasing as time goes on in this AI technological age. And understanding how my mind works, that is really the key. So when I can self-reflect and I'm getting a result that I like or that I don't like, kind of being able to reverse engineering it to know, okay, well, what am I putting into my mind? What's getting into my conscious? What's getting into my subconscious, which is affecting my results, which is, my vibration is all in that. Dive into the material and you'll know what I'm talking about. But definitely understanding how my mind works, that is really a key piece here, because when I know that, no matter what material I use, whether it's from Bob Thinking into Results or from somewhere else, I am then much better able to take that information and put it into meaningful results into my life. So it's not just little pieces of information floating around in my head that never get manifested into my reality. And it's also, I have 3 children and I can teach this information to them too. And this is very unique in that I feel very inspired, unlike any other material, to teach them. And I can see those results and give them these tools, because we all want to give our loved ones, these gifts that I have now gotten results from, and I feel inspired to share with others, especially my children.
Yeah, the best way to learn something is to teach it to someone else. And I always think, you know, leader lead thyself. And when you're leading, then it's easy to share and inspire others, especially our children, right? Um, you know, and something that you said that I've been reflecting on a lot is, you know, Bob spent 60 years of his life studying and researching this material. And a lot of people know Bob from Bob Proctor from The Secret. The Secret was actually based on The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. Now, the material is thousands of years old, and it is really, truly, it's a science-based system. It's like a recipe that works every time with every person when you do the work. You have to do the work, but it works every time. It's like that good cookie recipe. You know, maybe it's been passed down generation after generation, and if you just follow the recipe, you're gonna have these great cookies every time. When the recipe doesn't work, right, it's the wrongful application of the recipe. And that's where, you know, this system you have and you can use in every area of your life, personally and professionally. And I know that you've made a lot of really big shifts and you inspired a lot of people in the community too, Simon. I'm so grateful that you're here. But what are some of the biggest shifts that you've made that maybe, you know, somebody out there that's listening, whether it's, you know, business, financial, personal, health, whatever it is, what are some of those really big shifts that you made through thinking into results and through applying the application of this recipe?
Yes, so many shifts. So it helped me get in alignment with my desires, with what I really wanted, and not just things that were just in my head that I think I wanted, or maybe I was just following money, or I was following some other something that I didn't really truly want, something that was really in alignment with my heart and just in a better way of being. So I had 3 businesses that I was putting a little bit of energy towards all of them. I've basically left 2 of them are completely gone, and the third one is also leaving. It's transitioning out into another venture that I'm very, very passionate about. So that's a huge shift. I mean, I just could never have fathomed that. I thought I was going to be balancing these 3 businesses, and I'd transition from the third one that I'm now about to leave, that I would move it into one of the other 2 that I have already left. So those are huge changes. I feel so much more energized to be working in for my business life, and that's a big deal because we spend so much time, what we do professionally, what we have to do to earn currency. Um, Personally, I got a divorce because it was just a relationship that really wasn't it wasn't working. And I think especially as I raised my vibration, as I came through the material, my thoughts, streams, goals, and desires, everything else that was just not in synchronization, in vibration, left, and that was very uncomfortable, and I'm still going through this. But TIR, it helped me make the leap, because a lot of people I know are in relationships that they're not happy with, but to actually make the decision to go, like, my life actually got so much harder after that. Like, seriously, I mean, it was tough, but it's better, and it keeps getting better. It keeps getting better and better, and you see that incremental growth. Sometimes it feels like you're going backwards, but even then, you look back a week, a month, 6 months, a year, and you really can make it's just amazing. I feel like a completely different person than I was back then. There was something else I wanted to share. You said financially, personal, business, financial. What was the 4th one?
Health and
Health.
fitness and
Yes, health and fitness. So I definitely had, and I found it was usually around emotion, something that I didn't want to deal with inside of me, that I would reach towards food or marijuana or sometimes drinking to cover up something, when it was really just some deeply rooted belief, something that thinking into results helped bring to the surface that I could then deal with and heal. And when that happened, a lot of those things, reaching towards foods, reaching towards some sort of substance to not feel a certain way, went away. And it's not just one and done, it's an ongoing thing. But I was just have weakened a lot of those habits to a very big degree. And yeah, I definitely have more energy. I'm way more conscious about what I am putting into my mind and what I'm putting into my body. It doesn't mean it's always perfect by any means. It's a dense reality sometimes. We all go through a lot, especially in these times. So yeah, I'm making way better choices. And it's a snowball effect. So I'm better things in my mind, better things in my body. I'm feeling better. I have more energy. And yeah, it just keeps getting better.
Yeah, so I hear you've created a lot better habits that are moving you towards your goals. And it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage to lead in your life and to step out of comfort and complacency. And I think this is why a lot of people don't do it, because again, it's just a habit. It's just a bad habit. And I remember Bob, he'd always say, if everybody's walking in one direction, you should really walk in the other direction. And it's a process. But when you have a system and you have, I know for me, even like accountability, and you have that mentorship, it really moves you to do those things that you know that you need to do. And that leads to greater success. And it does, like you're saying, it just gets better and better, and it gets easier and easier. Otherwise, we just continue doing what we do, right? And the opportunity is to really choose you and to be courageous and take those steps forward. Simon, what would you like to say to an older version of yourself? Maybe I remember the first time we met up, and I know that it's scary. It's sometimes scary making that decision to lead and to do the work, because it's easier to just project and blame, right? That's that relationship. It's your fault, right? And we just stay in these nasty situations. It takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of courage to lead and make and to move forward. And I know it was scary initially, but what would you like to say to that older version of yourself?
Ooh, I would say take the leap. Speaking of, TIR helped me go skydiving. So that's a whole nother story, but it very did. It absolutely did. I would say take the leap, take the jump. Just take the jump. If you have the feeling, and it's a feeling, it's in your heart, it's not always in your head. I think our gut and our heart are two other brains. That's all. I think our emotions are our highest level of intelligence. And you get caught up in your head, and I could rationalize why a million reasons why I shouldn't do this, but there's something else inside of me that says, you know what, I really feel like I should do this, that this would be really good, very beneficial for me. And I would tell myself to trust that feeling and to get out of my head, get into my heart, and follow it and do it and trust that intuition.
Yeah, it's that leap of faith, right? And I mean, we see this like on this planet, there's a lot of fear. I mean, the fastest way to control the masses is fear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to really, I mean, if you can't, bet on yourself, right? If you can't bet on yourself, then who can you bet on? So you're going to have to take that leap and really trust that, you're going to be taken care of. And I know that you've inspired you inspired me, Simon. You've inspired so many of thinking into results leaders. And one thing I just want to share is just your ability to be vulnerable, call yourself out, do those things that are really scary, and continually show up and do the work, because that's the thing, is it's a process. It's not, I always let people know when they come into this, it's not just I got my certificate and I'm a graduate. It's like, no, this is an ongoing process. We want to continually be thinking into results. We want to continually be studying ourselves. Bob spent his whole life studying himself. You think of Napoleon Hill, he spent his whole life studying himself and, writing his books and sharing. So you want to continually develop yourself. Simon, tell us just a little bit about you and what you're kind of up to right now, and maybe what some of your future things that you're inspired around as far as the future.
Yes, so many things. And getting rid of some of that crap that was there helped open up to really see a lot more and to get more in alignment with what I really do want. So I am involved with a new media service called Streamlife, streamlife.tube. And that is going to be a decentralized, it's like a 5D version of YouTube and Zoom. There's an encrypted version of Zoom in there. It's just rolling out. There's going to be a lot of other things with it, and still in the beta testing, so it's not all perfect, but it's a very exciting way where people will be able to communicate with each other, share information without being censored, as long as you're not doing harm to anyone. Very simple laws, simple rules. You can share whatever you want, and there'll be 100 to 200 channels ranging from spirituality to skydiving to whatever it may be, and people can have their own channels and subscribe to the service. So I'm going to be involved in that, and I think like I have a channel called New Earth News, and I'm going to be spending part-time in Washington near Seattle, and the other part-time in Baja, Ensenada, Mexico, where I'll be building a New Earth community. So we'll be building with cob, ultra sustainable, using hemp, using a lot of really cutting edge technology, but also ancient ways of building and thriving that's all focused on healing the planet and healing our bodies. So having our basic survival, our food, our shelter, being very abundant, and not having to slave away, quite literally, half of our life force energy to live and to eat. And we have a very abundant world that we live in. And I'm not going to be taking my energy to get angry at the system, angry at government, angry at the corporations and so forth. I'm going to take all that energy, which TIR helped with that, and put that towards building what I do want, and filming it and putting it up on Streamlife. Maybe I'll have YouTube, but probably just Streamlife to share that with the world and inspire other people. And I'm working with a lot of amazing doctors and entrepreneurs from all over the world who are making contributions to this, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, and I'm excited for you as well. And I can't wait to learn more. And I think that you said something I wanted to touch on. It's like leaders are aware that there's problems, especially like, many of us that have been, looking at what's happened in the last 3 years. You're aware of that there's problems, but you give all your focus to the solution. And that's what Thinking into Results helps you do. So I'm really excited as well to learn more about what you're doing, Simon. What is your background? Like, what is your training as far as what I know you have created all sorts of success and you've done many different businesses, but what is kind of, would you say, your expertise?
So I've spent the last 7 years as a financial advisor. I was with a really megalithic insurance company, and then I left to make my own independent financial practice. And I had a lot of success there. And I'm selling that business. That's my third business to go before I get into this new venture. And yeah, so it's finance. I really got a pretty good understanding of how the financial world works, how currency is made, which it's not money, it's currency. And yeah, just understanding, finance. That has been my main background. And then as of the last year or two, I really started getting into water, structured water, Dr. Emoto, Victor Schauberger. That really helped even with my spiritual awakening to open up to a lot of other things. So that combination of those two things, and how we take money is our currency. It's a measurement of our life force energy that we use, and we can direct that into many different things. And when we give that to being angry at the system that we don't like, we're actually feeding it. So I've been ultra mindful of that. And yeah.
Wow, I love that. I love that. So what is maybe one favorite quote or a wise word that you'd love to just close this call with, this session with?
Oh my gosh. Buckmeister Fuller. I don't know if I can get it perfect on the quote, but basically, let's see. You might even know it, Tara.
Oh, don't, to create a new reality, right? If you want to create a new reality, you got to make the old model obsolete, and you got to focus on creating a new model,
Yeah, you create the
right?
new model, so then it makes the old model obsolete. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going down there, we're building it, we're putting all our energy there, and then the other one will crumble. It was incepted, created, not for the benefit of all. And yeah, create the new model of what you do want.
Exactly. And that's what you do with thinking into results. It's such a great way to close this, because when you come into thinking into results, and you're studying your mind and you're studying the way that the laws work with the mind, it's this opportunity to, again, just recognize that there's certain genetic and environmental programming that's been passed down that's not working. It's not going to move you towards your best self, to that calm, confident leader. It's not going to help you reach your goals and dreams. So in order to create and move towards what you really want, you're going to have to create a new model. And that's what you do in thinking into results. And that's what's so wonderful about this science-based system, is you can apply it to everything you're doing, like you're doing, Simon, as you move forward into these new, really exciting adventures. So thank you so much, Simon, for being here and for this just wonderful testimony of the material and of all the commitment that you put into it. It's just an honor and a privilege to study this material and to share it with others. And of course, I'm just really excited for what's to come. And we are going to continue to stay in contact, and I'm going to continue to learn and grow with you as you move into these new adventures.
Yes, thank you so much, Tara. You are a wonderful material, but also a wonderful guide as well. Having you as there to facilitate it and to coach everyone and to be there, I'm very, very grateful for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to be leaving Simon's information and his links below this video. If you want to learn more about what he's up to or about his experience, in this mentorship with myself and Bob and thinking into results, I want to encourage you to reach out. Simon is an awesome guy. I love this guy. He even inspired me to jump out of an airplane at 10,000 feet. And I was sharing with him on this call before we jumped on that it's just an absolute miracle I did that. I have definitely, would never have done that if it wasn't for him and this material and moving towards what we call the terror barrier. So freedom is on the other side of the terror barrier. And like Simon says, you got to just take the leap. So have a great day, everybody. And thank you for your time here.
Awesome. Thank you.